What's up? Oh shit, we've not done this. Need to put that on, don't we? Hello, how you doing? Welcome in. It's twitch.tv/1030. I'm 1030, you're twitch.tv. All that sort of stuff. Sorry, I rifted. There we go. We should be in business. I think that's everything all wonderful now. We've got two projectors on the go. And we've got bubbles right off the bat. Hello, how you doing? Yes, it's Bland. Thank you very, very much for 17 months. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome in. I feel rough, everybody, but I feel so much better now that Yes, it's Bland has just subbed. You's alright? Can you hear and see me good? I wish you couldn't see me good. I feel this. Beneath headphones, welcome in. How you doing? I came on here and you went live exactly the same time. Psychic Connection. Hello, Offworld. Hello, Caravore. Offworld. You're the same person as Offworld Objects, aren't you? And you've changed your name. Are you? That's why when I say your name, it's as if I was going to say Offworld Objects, but I just stop myself when your name stops. Offworld. Caravore, how you doing? Marky again. Let's get the party started. Let's get the bloody party started, everybody. Hello, Pedropolis, Flower Buffy, Caravore, John the Human. How's it going? Welcome in. Listen at the start of stream. Good news. Good news, everybody. Bad part of the internet. Good part of the internet. Good news. If you have any good news, stick it in the chat, etc. Caravore says, good news. More dehumidifier updates. First test of the cold weather. Bone dry windows. That's good. Caravore, today's the day. Today's the day I woke up and I realised a lot of my windows were absolutely soaking. So today's the day to be testing. Anybody up north? I've got some family up north. Snow day. Couldn't go to school. Showing me photos, they'll just snow everywhere, all over everything. Is it snowing where you are? We need to know. Let us know in the chat. It's no snowing where I am, but it looks like quite a crisp day. I've not been fucking outside. Caravore says the drum loops are brilliant. Feel free to check out A Quiet and Peaceful Man, who is my mate Paul, who made the music for the Starting Soon stuff. And his SoundCloud and stuff should be in chat for you just now. I feel rough, man. Like, what's going on with this eye? Like, I'm just... Well, you can't see it, and it just looks normal. But I'm just like that. Don't know what the deal is. Something in me. So what I'm going to do, I think, is go to the doctor. Just be like, do you want to extract blood for me and just do a panel of bloods? And I tell you what's going to happen. They will do that. They will get back to me about 3 weeks later and they'll be like, there's nothing wrong with you. I guarantee you that's what will happen. When's the last time you ate a vegetable? A wee while ago. Had broccoli 2 days ago. What did I have for food last night? I can't even remember. Beans? Is beans a vegetable? I had beans yesterday. Cognitive decline, man. I'm just like, can't remember anything. Hello, Pedropolis, Bowdy, how's it going? My good news is that me and my new pup, says Pedropolis, both managed to get some sleep last night. We see the vet for the first jag tomorrow morning. That's all exciting. She'll post a pic in the Discord. Amazing. Listen, everybody, I was thinking about getting a new pet section. Oh. Are we effing? What happened there? You can't see my camera, can you? 1, 2. I mean, can you still hear me? That was weird, wasn't it? Did you see all of that? It stopped at a really unflattering frame. Could you hear audio throughout? Because I wonder if that's a problem with the camera. Basically, what the deal is what it is was, last night I was up for a wee bit working on, this project, and I left my camera on. And so when I went to stream today, the camera was like, I'm not working because I've been on all last night and I'm roasting, and it was complaining to me. So I had to restart the machine, and then it was working fine. But see if I've accidentally gubbed my camera. Oh, I'm going to be raging. But I just did a wee restart there and it seemed to be fine. This project, well, I won't go into detail because I've talked about it a fair bit. Last night I authored my first exe file. So this project with the tracking markers and stuff like that, different bits of it are still needing a bit of work. See, saving the configuration. So when you save the camera and all the config and stuff like that needs to be a bit more robust because sometimes it doesn't stick. So I need to put a wee bit more work into that. But it exists as an exe file. How good is that? And it'll address OBS. You don't need to install anything in OBS or anything. I'm a software developer, everybody. I'm a software developer. Made it with Python, aye. And then I turned it into an exe file with a program called Nuitka. Nuitka, I believe. It's exciting. I'm a software developer. Chameleon is in with a wee bit of good news. Good news, the Analog 3D is getting delivered at some point today. Apparently EverDrive carts don't work well, but some cheaper knockoffs do, and I have a cheap knockoff, so hopefully it works. Got plenty of games if it doesn't. Amazing, Chameleon. That's exciting. What one's the 3D? Is that the Nintendo 64? Analog 3D. Analog. The analog things look amazing. Analog 3D. No, the Analog 3D is like the universal one. No, it's the N64. That is class, man. That's very exciting. Do you know, I never get right into the N64. Never had one when I was wee. However, got one boxed right here. Well, it isn't boxed, it's out the box, it's here. But it's in very good condition. And I think what I'm going to do, if I've got any spare cash left over at the start of the new year, which I probably won't, but I'm going to buy a powered SCART splitter so that I can hook up old consoles and play them on this telly and also link them into the stream. And we can have some retro video game stuff. I think that would be quite exciting. But we'll see how it goes. That Nintendo 64, if anybody is familiar with Consolevania and Video Gaiden, that one is Ryan McLeod's personal childhood N64 that I bought off him about 15 years ago. Never switched it on, never used it. I think maybe the RAM cart is dodgy. I think he said something about the RAM cart needing to be replaced, but I can't remember. But I'd quite like one of the dodgy carts for that, and just all the games. That would be cool. We can share celebrating a 5-stream watch streak. Amazing. I think with my current OBS setup, I don't see the streaks on this end, so you can share it all you want. I won't acknowledge it, but don't think that me not acknowledging it is me being rude or anything. Just played this out loud in the office, even though it says I'm connected to my headphones. Haha. Check this out, Rai3D's office. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just shortened it. Cool. Cool off-world objects. Just because you never know. Sometimes, remember the Bryan Cranston saga? Where Bryan Cranston was two separate people? That was weird, wasn't it? And I thought they were the same person, but one of them was spelled with an underscore or something like that. So I was just making sure you were the same person. My good news is, yes, it's bland, is I've just finished my wee pop-up Christmas room and it's wholesome as fuck. That's amazing. That's class. Here, everybody, check out Yes, It's Blandsy's escape rooms called Nomad Escape, and it's in Merchant Square in Glasgow. And I think there is a discount, maybe, for viewers of this stream. I don't make any money off it. I just want to support some fantastic local businesses. So if you use discount code 1030, I think, maybe, at checkout, you can benefit from some money off or something like that. I don't know about exactly what it is, but I can personally recommend them as some fantastic escape rooms. Thyroid check and vitamin count? Aye, absolutely. I'm fucked, man. I've started taking vitamin D again, so that might be good. Is that a vegetable? It probably is. I've got the meat brain. I've not been eating a lot of meat necessarily as well. Plodder says, I'm reliably informed by The Simpsons that beans are a musical fruit. Indeed they are. So we seem to be fine. I think just my camera had a wee hiccup there, but it seemed to be back on and back in business. Does Windows Developer throw a fit if you run it? No, Plodder. Everything seems to be working fine. I was expecting when I ran my exe file, listen everybody, if you're just in, I'm a software developer now. I have authored an exe file that, and I'll give a brief description. I've created these two April tags, they're called. They're tracking markers. And basically, the function is that I want to put these on my desk, and the camera will be looking down at the desk, and just by positioning them, like imagine I want to zoom in on this, I could just position one here and one here, and the camera would detect where they are and phew, zoom right in. That's the objective. And in order to do that, I've written some code in Python, and I've saved it as an exe file. And I first tested it out last night, and it works, man. Most of it works. Wee bits don't, so I just need to put some more time into that. But I'm thinking about releasing it to people. If you happen to be a streamer that's got a top-down camera and wants to test this, give me a shout. And I think I will do a private series of testing. And then if all of that goes good, I will release it. I wouldn't mind making a wee bit of cash off it. See, like a $5 or something like that. Or, folk have told me to start a Patreon. I don't know. So maybe folks that are on a Patreon, but I don't know if I want to get into all of that. But regardless, if you want to test it, if you're a streamer and you have a top-down camera and you do things on your stream like Lego or board games or projects or whatever where people need to see what you're doing, give me a shout and I would like to test out my thing. Probably won't work. It'll probably be kind of brutal. I downloaded it and it can't connect my camera, or it keeps disconnecting, or it crashed something like that. And I'll be like, alright. And then I'll take what you've done, I'll try and replicate it, I'll try and fix it. So I was expecting that when I double clicked the application, it would come up saying, unknown developer, do not trust this guy. He's trying to hack your computer. You know how Windows does that? So I looked into signing my code, and it's something like £150 a year. Laxonian, how you doing? Welcome out. Laxonian, is that a tier 3 sub? You're a legend, Laxonian. Thank you very much for your persistent support. Persistent, consistent support on the channel. Laxonian, you're fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Oh, here everybody, speaking of supporting the channel, I forgot that I'm entitled to offer you some sort of discount for, I think, bulk gift subs or something like that. I don't really know how useful it is, but I can do this, and I can click that, and then I can click that. Goodness me. Laxonian, thank you very, very much for subbing. Laxonian, welcome in, and how you doing? And 5G Provider, thank you very much for subbing. That's a cool profile picture, isn't it? Look at that. Like the colours there. Did you take that steaming walking home one night and you were just like, that looks like an album cover or something? Side of the road, maybe there's been a foam party or something like that. You can hear folk in the background like that. Yeah, that looks interesting. 5G Provider, thank you very much for subbing. Been trying to work out my way through the VODs all summer. I'm up to the Halloween special. Amazing! I hope you enjoy the Halloween special, or did enjoy the Halloween special, because I really liked it. I thought it was sensational, personally. I thought it was dead good. Dearie me. I've no idea how lines on a screen become an EXE sorcerers. Aye, wild. Time to rebrand to iWrite Software. That's good. I was thinking about a name for this tracking software, and you can maybe help me out. So the concept is, I've just told you, basically you print these out. I've made some nice cubes. I've made some, they're up in the loft so I can't show you, but I've made some nice weighted cubes, and then I've also made some like disc hockey pucks as well. But anyway, you print these out, you stick them on your desk, you run my software, and then depending on when where the tracking markers are, the software will zoom the camera in onto the desk. So it means that if you're a streamer, you can show people things close up. That's all it does, but it does it kind of good. So what should that software be called? I was thinking, because I'm Scottish, it should be called Pure Zoomer, because it zooms in, and if you're in Scotland and somebody calls you a Pure Zoomer, that's patter. That's some Scottish patter. There is also OK Zoomer, I was considering, which sounds a bit like OK Boomer. Lemon SA, how you doing? Welcome in. I was considering that. I was just in the middle. You were typing it as I was saying it. OK Zoomer, which sounds like OK Boomer. Thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in. How you doing? Thanks for the Prime sub. So I was thinking about that one, but then I think Pure Zoomer is a bit purer with a concept. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a zoomer. Whereas OK Zoomer, do you know, I don't know. Thinking about it, but I think if there is an alternative idea that comes up and is better, I will immediately know that it's better. Right now it's just called Tracker Zoomer, which isn't, you know what I mean, nobody's going to remember that. Lemon, 5G Provider, and Laxonian, and yes, it's bland. Thank you very much for subbing. Bowdy has redeemed a hydrate redemption. I can't do that for you, Bowdy. I don't have any liquids near me. Are those plasma lamps behind you? Yes, they are. However, what I've found is they don't work very good next to televisions. Or when they get wet isn't a good idea. And as it happens, there's bubbles on them and stuff. So I'm trying to find a good... So there's two of them. And they work and stuff, but I'm trying to find a good location for them in my stream setup. There might be more of a loft thing. See, the wide angle camera in my loft might be best for them or something. I don't know. But I'm into all that sort of stuff. 20% off. Hey, listen, everybody. If you are in charge of the Christmas work night out, or do you want to do something with your pals, but you don't want to go out and get steaming because that's kind of boring, or do you want to go out and get steaming but you're looking for something else to do and you live in the Glasgow or near the Glasgow area, get yourself down to Nomad Escape. It's an escape room place and they're pretty good. And see, this one here, I actually helped build one of the puzzles for that, so that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And they have just created their brand new Christmas pop-up one, which is cozy as fuck. I've been told it's dead cozy. So hey, do you want 20% off? 20%, everybody. That is an incredible amount off. Do you want 20% off? All you need to do is use discount code 1030 at checkout and you get 20% off the price. Some of them have got actors in them. Some of them have got, or well, I think all of them have got like electronic setups where it's all quite complicated and cool. Not complicated to do, complicated on the back end, and it's all clever and intelligent and stuff like that. What's this one coming soon? Oh, looks a bit spooky. Looks a bit scare B&B. That's funny. That's good. So I check it out. I want to go down and do one of the rooms myself, maybe live on stream, maybe with Dando, maybe one or two other streamers if they happen to be in the area. I think that would be kind of good. But 20% off for viewers of this stream, just because, yes, it's bland, happens to like the stream, and I think they're sound. That's cool, isn't it? I'm not making any money off it. Enjoy your 20% off. How good is that? Incidentally, right, see if you happen to own a business or provide a service to folk and you want to give viewers in my stream some money off just for the hell of it, give us a shout, man, and use 1030. I've always wanted to be a discount code. Put me as a discount code in your ring and I'll talk to people about it. Also, do you work in the media or anything like that? Are you able to add Easter eggs into things that will be seen by the public? Put in the number 1030 wherever you can. It's great, man. Be cheeky. Do it. Right? It's good. And it's innocent enough that somebody's like, why is 1030 there? You just be like, oh, well, I had to put a number in. I forgot a long time ago that I made a title sequence for a show with Trigger in it. Have I showed you this before? This is one of the first things that I did when I was sorry for the abrupt stop of the music. I made this title sequence years ago, man, when I just sort of finished art school and I got to direct Trigger and this other guy, Clive Swift. And is there no sound? Hold on, how loud's that going to be? You can't hear it at all, which is good. Look at this, right? So I made this, shot them on green screen, was part of a big crew, and there, do you see that? That says JH 1030. That's my dad's darts. Aye, that's my dad's actual darts. But look at that. I forgot I did that. I only found that out recently. I was watching this back and I'm like, wait a minute. I was showing somebody in work. So in real time, you absolutely don't see it. There you go. Something different, isn't it? Something different. But aye, and so on. Where are we, folks? Cammy Ra, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in. 36 months, I appreciate that, Cammy. How you doing, Cammy? Welcome in. Like some respect to you. If you're just joining, we're trying to come up with ideas for this tracking software that I've made. But I think Pure Zoomer is my favourite so far, with a second contender of OK Zoomer. But I think Pure Zoomer sounds a wee bit better. I might have a SCART splitter knocking around. Nice one, Bowdy. From what I've been looking at, it needs to be a powered one rather than a passive one. And so I've been looking online, and it's difficult to get one of them. So one of the ones you can, obviously, for game enthusiasts, you can buy up to 400. You can spend up to £400 for a SCART splitter. I'm not doing that. But the one that seems to be the good one on AliExpress, that's like a 10-in-1 SCART splitter, is about 60 quid or 70 quid. And so for the past year and a half, I've been like, no chance, man. Spending 60 quid on a SCART thing? No chance, man. Chase yourself. And so that's why this has sort of got to that point of stagnation. But see, even if I can just do a 1 input to 2 output SCART splitter, but because of the analog nature of SCART, it can't be passive, it needs to be active in order to work with this setup, apparently, for what I've been looking at. So it does require its own power, allegedly. I'll have a look in my box, and you can have it if I can find it. Amazing, Bowdy, that's class, thank you very much. Flower Buffet says, no snow, but good news, because it's been cold. It means it's parsnips harvesting time on my allotment. Parsnip soup incoming at the weekend. That is amazing. That's cool. I didn't know parsnips were like that. That is amazing. That's amazing. Enjoy your parsnips, everybody. I'm still on 8k vitamin D3 a day. Nice one, Carnivore. Hello, Weeshed. I took 4,000 vitamin D earlier today, and I might take one at night and one in the morning. Is April an abbreviation? Do you know? I don't know. Let's find out about April tags. April tags. So I should use the word fiducial marker. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So these things here are called fiducial markers. And these ones are called April tags that computer vision systems can easily detect and identify to determine their precise position, location and orientation. They were developed at the University of Michigan. These square tags feature a unique pattern of black and white pixels and are used in robotics, augmented reality and 3D scanning to provide a reference point for calculations that are highly robust, reliable under various lighting conditions and can be quickly identified by a camera and specialised software. Doesn't tell you why they're called April tags. Maybe the person that invented them was called April. Or maybe it's a nod to somebody important to the person that invented them or something like that. The word April isn't in uppercase. Don't know why they're called April tags. But they are fiducial markers that robots can use to locate things. And they've been used in a lot of different applications. So there's a mad motley crew of robots, and each one has got a separate marker on top. And so that means that each one of these robots can detect the other robots and they know who they are. That's kind of cool, isn't it? So I've made wee cubes like this. And I think what I was going to do, if I'm releasing this software, it'll be available on my merch store. And there'll be a bundle where you can also receive stickers, and it'll be wee stickers, because I've realised I can do that quite easily. And stickers will get sent to your house so that you don't need to print them out yourself. And a cheaper version will be you print them out yourself, but I'd imagine a lot of people just can't be arsed doing that. Thanks again for the Wild Halloween stream, Lagsonian. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed putting it together. I thought it was good. Oh, somebody's asking me if I want to do some work. Friday the 28th of November. Sounds good to me. Yes, please. Exclamation mark. The camera focus would be great for cooking and kitchen streams. i.e. in Oblivion, 100%. Definitely. Anything with an overhead camera, I think, would work really well. Particularly if your overhead camera is like a 2K cam or a 4K cam, but you're outputting just at 1080p, means that there's pixels there to be zoomed in on. Chameleon says, Sign-in has a whole bunch of compatibility stuff that you need to do as well. It's a pain in the arse unless you're selling software and expecting the business users to be using it and IT departments to be managing it. Mostly not worth it. It would be good if, when I made this application, that people didn't have that scary alert thing saying, this might be a virus. Oh, because it isn't a virus. And I think it's kind of wide of windows to... Here's the deal. See, if you make software and you release it to people and you sell it and stuff, when the people run it, sometimes there's a big scary thing that's like, do you trust the person that did this? Like, it takes up your full screen. Do you want to run it or do you not want to run it? Do you trust this person? They might be a scumbag. This might be a virus. And if you want to eliminate the possibility for that big scary screen to come up, you need to pay a company minimum £150 a year. That's a racket. It would be different if Microsoft had a separate thing that was free, that you put your software through this thing, it detects if it's a virus, and if it isn't a virus, that's fine or so. Like, it shouldn't. Why does it cost £150 a year? There's no human at the end of that that's manually doing any labour or anything for it to cost that. I think it's a big scam. I think it's a racket. The hardest part for software development, finding names for things, aye. I think Pure Zoomer is good. Zoomer Frame says Big Scary Deer. Stop Crop and Roll, that's good. Plodder. Fire related as well. Mad Zoomer. Iron View is really strong, that's good. Zoomy McZoomface, thank you for your contribution there, Big Ant J. Iron View, I don't think I could get away with Iron View. Good news, says Arno Boko. Booked a trip to Legoland next summer. I'm more excited than the kids. That's amazing. Have Mazda gave up on Zoom Zoom? Deary me. Is it the place you helped with the mic or intercoms or something? Aye, Marky. So the thing that you can experience just now is a puzzle that is a musical puzzle as part of a spaceship, if you remember me building that. Hello Spoggers, how you doing? RCL Studio says, I did a voiceover for a CD-ROM years ago with Trigger. Nice guy. Amazing. Aye, he was a nice guy. Out of the pair of them, he was a good guy. Small World, Ray. That's cool. Were you involved with the Apollo 13 movie? Definitely an Easter egg in there when they announced they had a problem. Thank you, DC. And you remember, I've showed you this recently, haven't I? I was featured in this other movie in Shudder. I showed you this very recently. I don't know if I should re-show it to you. Where are we? Somebody posted it. Where are we? Ah, it's gone. I won't be able to find it. It's totally gone. Doesn't matter. I just found this image of Fred. This is what... I was giving Fred a row because he ate some food. This is years ago. And I was giving him a row. And he just wasn't taking the row very well. So he gave me this glare when he's getting a row. Oh, Fred, man. Anyway. Poor guy. I forgot what I was looking for. It was that film where a woman finds the jacket of her childhood romance, and he happens to be called James Houston, and it's just really trippy to watch if you're me. But I don't know where it is. I can't even remember the name of the film. I should watch it probably. But it's a horror, I believe, on Shudder, and I'm sure I retweeted it. But me and Rachel should watch it. Sorry if you're getting audio of things. Fuck knows. Twitter search sucks. It's bad. Hello Pursue, how do you do? Welcome in. What is even happening? Thanks for the follow, CRB boy. Welcome in. How you doing? Sorry, I'm getting notifications right, left, and centre. Did you have a chat about the GameCube yesterday? I did. I quite like the look of the new console that Valve are putting out. I realised after chatting yesterday that I don't know much about the current state of VR. And see, as a technology, I'm right into VR stuff. See, if it was just a wee bit cheaper, I would have had VR headsets years ago, because I think they're cool, man. VR, AR, different types of mixed reality and stuff, I'm in. I think it's great. But I realised I haven't really been following it since the Facebook company got in the game, because, I don't know, like for a decent one, minimum, you're talking about 300 quid or something. And I've just never been in the position where I'm like, I fancy spending 300 quid. That's like a substantial part of my rent, you know what I mean? So, but since talking about them yesterday, I've become quite excited about the new Valve thing, which I don't think will be 300 quid. I think it'll be a lot more than that. And I was looking at the Meta Quest headsets as well, just to get a sort of more up-to-date perspective of all of that sort of stuff. But the GameCube looks good. I think the whole concept of yesterday's rant about it is, I think its success will entirely be down to its price. It needs to be at a good price so that people won't buy a PlayStation and won't buy an Xbox and instead will buy one of them. If it's higher in price than a PlayStation or an Xbox, then you're getting into the territory of PC gamers. But if you're a PC gamer, you've already got a setup. And it isn't a PC, it's a console, you know. So, we'll see how it goes. It would be good if it was sort of low price, but I don't know how it possibly can be with the current price of RAM and everything like that. But it would be wonderful to have a console that could access your full Steam library connected to your telly. And it can't be too dear, otherwise people will just find an old office computer and stick, which is what I've been doing. Find an old office computer and put a graphics card in it and run your stuff off of that with Bluetooth. So I don't know. But I quite like the idea of it. The price point will entirely, because everybody's skin all over the world just now. Another one I chose because it had a VCR loop, like a tape loop on a mixer. Amazing. Does it have power input? Honey roast parsnips are class. Oof, now we're talking. Off-world objects, you're a fiducial marker. 4,000, then 1 at night and 1 in the morning. It seems very uneven dosing. Well, I don't know, JR Skeg. I'm making it all up. Iron Shepherd says I take vitamin D once a week. Alright. Did you hear about 10:30? Apparently he's got fiducial markers sending thoughts and prayers. There you go. The name April Tag comes from April Robotics Laboratory. Well, how did the robotics laboratory get called April in the first place? I don't know. We will never find out. What's going on with Twitter search? Who knows, man? Who knows? What a mess. Can't search any of my stuff. I wonder if Amazon Web Services is down again. My goodness. No point in taking D3 at night. Best taken in the morning with fats. Alright. Well, fair enough. The April and April Lab, active perception and robotic interactive learning. That's cool, man. That's pretty cool. The gigs you got doing the Asdads? Was that an Asdads? I can't remember. Here's a totally unnecessary idea. Every time someone could go exclamation mark good news, you could have a wee clip of Professor Farnsworth from Futurama saying, "Good news, everyone." Well, if you remember a couple of years ago, when folk did good news, I had a graphic came up with their message and I could read out their graphic. So if I've got time over Christmas, what I was going to do is put a wee bit of work into just bringing the stream the viewing quality up on the stream by creating different segments on the stream. So maybe at the start of the stream we could have the good news segment, right? But just brand it with graphics and stuff, make the production value a wee bit better than what it is. I've told you about the Crystal Maze thing that I'm working on, so that when I'm travelling between here and the loft, there'll be some branded video to show. Because, right, I do this for a living. I make video for broadcast and stuff, and yet on my stream I've no done it, because when I'm not working on stuff, the last thing I want to do is open up After Effects and do some work on stuff. But this stream is one of my most favourite things to do in the entire world. And so I might as well use the skill set that I've got to just elevate it a tiny wee bit. So maybe for the good news segment at the start of the stream, we'll have just a wee 5-second bit of branding, a wee thing, and maybe Professor Farnsworth will feature in that. We will see how it goes. Pursue says, good news, found another protagonist for a potential film project, a 6 to 7 metre tetrapodomorph fish that lived in and around the Scottish mainland valley in the early Carnivorous era, and Stirling Film Studios actually was on the bottom of said Lake Palio, Lake Cardelli, is due to open next spring. That's along with 2 types of 2.25 metre sea scorpions. Jeez, oh. What's the name of the new thing that you found? Because I want to look it up and see if there's any... What's the name of the 6 to 7 metre tetrapodomorph? I'm going to just Google tetrapodomorph to see what he looks like. Or tetrapodomorph fish. Oh, what is this godforsaken thing? Ask anything. Do AI... Oh, it's the text's moving about. I can't read it. What? No. Didn't even read it. No. Look at this big bastard. That big scary guy, man. See, the more I know about these fish guys, the more I'm like, you just stay where you are. You stay down there. Imagine that guy having a wee chomp out you. Oof. See, that's where it gets scary. When they start getting ideas, growing wee legs and feet and stuff like that. Nah. Get them kicked back into the ocean, that's what I say. You've no business up here. We've no business down here, down there. Behave yourselves. Where are we? It's fairly affordable now, I think. What is the VR stuff? Pursue says, I made an acid baseline to score this and automated a low pass filter to make it growl on feedback. What, your tetrapodomorph thing? Didn't the head LLM guy at Meta quit? No idea. Big Ant says the April Robotics Laboratory... Oh, I've just read that. I've seen price estimates of the Steam thing at 600 quid, but probably guesses. I think everybody's just guessing at the moment. I was looking Folk are guessing anything between 600 quid to £1,000. Read up on it the day. Components cost $450. I reckon it'll be minimum 600. Boys, you'll see how it goes. I think if it is 600, because $600 is about £800 UK. You've got all the mad Trump's import tariffs and all of the Brexit benefits and all of that. It probably means even if it is $600, it'll probably be about £1,000 by the time it gets here. And if it is, I don't think it'll be very successful. For something like that, they need it to be ubiquitous. They need it to be the new thing, because they're up against PlayStation and Xbox. Anyway, what do I know? When I got a Steam Deck, I turned it on and I had my entire Steam library to play and access to cheap games. If they can make it something that is affordable and has access to the full history of gaming, then it's game-changing. I totally agree. Completely. There's a pub in Yorkshire that does battered parsnips and they're unbelievable. Brilliant. David Orr says, I take vitamin D gummies every day now after I got vertigo 4 days into the Edinburgh Fringe. Shit. Managed to shift half my way through the run, but apparently vitamin D staves off vertigo. Interesting. I got overwhelming vertigo a couple of years ago, back when I was at the depths of my mad anxiety swings. And I think vitamin D was a big part of that. Cool, I will stick to my 4000 UI. Honestly hate delivery services. FedEx suddenly updated the tracking with, we attempted delivery and the proof was a pitch black screen grab of nothing. I'm supposed to just be like, well, I guess I missed it. Aye, raging, absolutely raging. Tracking services as well, just are non-existent, they don't work. The tracking service, even though the whole purpose of the tracking service is to track the package, what I've found out, consistently every single time, you go on, where is it? It's like, I don't know. Where is the package? I don't know. It's between where the sender sent it and the destination. You're like, well, where is it between? Generic distributions. When will it get to me? Fuck knows, mate. Don't know. Do you deliver on a Sunday? I don't know. It's no our department. And then one day it just arrives at your house. That is my experience with tracking services. Does me in. I think that the post office should still be a publicly owned company, because ever since it went private, it has turned to shit. I'm old enough to remember when the Royal Mail and the post office was not run for profit, but instead run to be an essential service. And now, right, that was before email and stuff was widely accepted. So people were sending more letters back then than what they are just now. Now, there's less work to be done. And but because it's been run for profit, full thing's in disarray, man. That should be a good example why certain things shouldn't be run for profit and should be put back into the hands of the public. It used to be substantially better. Even just the interior of my post office, you used to go in, it would smell clean. Now if you go in, there's like, it's fucked, man. Everything's just stinky. There's speakers on the bit to speak to the person behind the glass. Somebody's just like pushed in all the speakers. It's terrible. And all of that happened after it went into private ownership. Oh, I hate it. Anyway, what do I know? Sorry, you're quite right to be angry. And they don't track stuff and all of that sort of stuff as well. Oh, I hate it. Aren't we descendants of the ones that got legs? Aye, we are, and maybe that's where we went wrong, is what I'm saying. That led to the post office. Do you know what I mean? The wee guy, see this here? We went wrong here. Shouldn't it have been done? Let's get back in the ocean, everybody, and we'll mind our own business. You're a tetrapodomorph, Pablo Diablo. How you doing? So the Steam hardware looks good. I guess it just depends on price. Americans quote prices without taxes, though. Aye, you're quite right. Who knows, man? They have to delay the tracking slightly to reduce their chance of being robbed. Well, what's the point of the tracking? Also, in order to see the tracking thing, I need to put in a tracking number, then I need to put in my postcode. Sometimes I need to sign in via email, right? So I'm not going to rob the thing that is already legally mine. If I've had to authorise myself to see it, just give me an estimate. I don't even need to know where it currently is. Just give me an estimate of when it will be delivered. That's all I need to know. And right now, computers should be able to do that. They really should. Online tracking for every service is total dog shit. DHL, every post office, parcel force, all of them don't work very well. And they should. I bet you in other countries it works good. I bet you it does. Deary me. Now I need to rearrange delivery and stay in all day tomorrow, as long as I can anyway, and hope that they press a buzzer and can be bothered even trying. What a mess. There we go. Pursue's got a link in the chat there for anybody that's into prehistoric life and environments around the Midland Valley and the borders. That's very exciting. Privatisation is the piracy we should be concerned about. My post office is in the back of WH Smith's now, and it's still a shithouse. Aye. And WH Smith is been renamed, hasn't it, to like TJ McHughes or whatever. Oh, I hate it. Less written letters, but more people, and more people buying tat off the internet, though, I suppose. Gaza, you might be right. Simpsons did it. Simpsons have done everything. Our descendants got legs, and now the post office sucks. Aye. Dear me. Aye, Domino's are good at their deliveries. Your Uber Eats and all of that, you can tell exactly where the guy is. Hermes, I've never had the misfortune of having to use them. Hermes are every, I see. TJ Jones, I see. Why is that? Is that for tax reasons that WH Smith is no longer called WH Smith? I don't even know what way is up this weather. Right, I don't really know what to do. I've got some general admin to do just in my life, right? So I'm in work tomorrow. And so I was going to do a bit of little loft tidying and things today. But I'm live on stream, and I've not really been on a lot recently. So it would be good if I did a wee bit of cool stream stuff. I was going to show you this. So we were talking about Facebook's Meta, right? They've got a new bit of software out that is to do with segmented, augmented modelling or something. SAM, it's called. Upstairs Down, thank you very much for the bits. Sorry, Upstairs Down, I didn't see that, but I appreciate the bits. Thank you very, very much. Are you still in? I hope you don't think I've ignored your bits. But thank you very much. So there's a new technology, right? And Iron Shepherd, thank you very much for the bits as well. This is cool. I've not had bits for a wee bit. Thank you very much, folks. If you're just in, I'm talking about segmented stuff, right? So this is a technology that's just been released by... Was it Meta? Or was it the BitDance people? ByteDance. But basically, it's software that can detect things in video. So this is all automated. And it can detect who Keanu Reeves is and who Lawrence Fishburne is, which is exciting. It can also be used a wee bit like my marker detection to just detect like objects, and you just do it via language. You say, right, I'm looking for this particular type of thing in video, and it'll detect aeroplanes, or it'll detect bikes, or it'll detect people if you want it to do that. I think you can output mats. So here, somebody's saying extract the octopus, please. So this could be useful in different scenarios, you know, like AI stuff or robotics. manufacturing. You know, you could have a camera that's just looking to make sure every bottle coming off a production line has got an appropriate cap on it. Could be used with visual effects. Could be used to measure things, and all you need is a camera, and apparently it works very fast and very good. But there is another component of it. It could be used to count things as well, which is quite exciting. You know what I mean? But another part of it is, if you give it a video or an image, it can then successfully extract a 3D object of whatever you have chosen in the video or image. And it's even just imagining bits that it can't see behind the scenes. And apparently it works kind of good. So I think that's now public. It's not just a research paper, it's now an actual real thing. So I wonder if we can go and maybe get some access. Here is a video of like some wee toys. And it'll just generate one in 3D for you. And usually all of these AI tools don't work very well generating 3D models. This one sort of seems to look alright. I don't know how successful it'll be. I don't know how viable those models will be in production. But some of the other demos that I saw were kind of good. So let me see if I can find the good ones. Right, let's look at the demo. Allow all cookies. Yep. Yep. Start with your own image. Will we do this, folks? Will we see if we can... let's see if I can find an image on my computer that might be useful for this. Let's see. What have I got an image of that we could extract a 3D thing from? I mean, we could use me, right? I've been generating some shite images of myself, right? So let's see this. So I told you about this recently. So we've got this image of me, right? We've got this image of me. These aren't real. These are AI. And some other ones as well. Look at that. Live streamer. I'm like a not North Korean. A Korean live streamer. Look at that. K-pop, that's what I'm thinking of. Look at this guy, man. That's where I keep my sunglasses. That's good, isn't it? Well, we'll see if it can make a 3D model of him. That's funny. Anyway, let's see what else we've got, because there might be something that actually I wouldn't mind having in 3D. This wee dog. Could try and make that dog in 3D. He's kind of cool. Iron Shepherds, thank you for an additional 100 bits. I appreciate that. How you doing? Welcome in, and what is even happening? I'm trying to find out a thing that we could maybe turn into 3D. I don't really know if there's an object. Here, do you want to see me and Scroobius Pip saving a sheep? We were driving along the Scottish countryside and saw a wee sheep on the road, and he was separated from the rest of his pals, and he was trying to climb under a fence, and he couldn't get under the fence. And I spotted him, and I turned round to say to Pip, here, listen, we need to stop right now. And as soon as I turned round, he'd already stopped the car. We both got out. Not a word was said. We're like, we need to help this wee guy. And do you know what? We did help the wee guy. We had like a two-prong pincer manoeuvre because he didn't want to get picked up. And it took us a wee while to kind of outsmart him. And we did outsmart him. And this is him going back to his friends. I don't know why you can't hear the audio, but listen, you just can't. So deal with that. He's adorable, even if he is covered in his own piss or shit. Wee fluffy guy, man. Or is that just the markings? I don't want to know. But see, when I put him in, all the sheep in the full place came over to him. He's like, are you my mum? No, you aren't. Sorry, I'll go and find... Are you my mum? Aye. Aye, how you doing? Wee guy, man. So then all the sheep in the full field came over. It was amazing. I think that was the highlight of my past couple of years. Anyway, right, well, we tried just me standing in a lab coat for this 3D thing. I think we should do that, right? So I've chosen that image of me standing in a lab coat. Right, click to select a 3D object. I will select this. Add or subtract regions with additional clicks to mask a single object selection. Just that, please. 3Dify your object when done refining the single object mask. Yep. Start a new object here to build out a 3D scene. Right, don't want to do that. 3Dify. And let's see. Here, that worked fairly quickly. Oh. Why do all these things look great in the demos you get, and then you try them yourself and it looks like something for a horror game? It's Puppet Combo, isn't it? Cool, man. That's good, isn't it? I mean, he's definitely got a Jimmy vibe. Half-Life 1 scientist, aye. It looks like a Gaussian splat rather than geometry, doesn't it? So I wonder if I can get it as geometry. But that's a wee bit terrifying. Hello, Dr. Freeman. What's going on here, man? It is like Half-Life 1 zombie hands. How come I've got uneven pockets? Look at that. Okay, so meta, still got a wee bit of work to do. Right, imagine it's perfect though. Can I download it? Can I download this as a 3D object and use it as part of my a production workflow? I'd love to take a crowbar to the head. Well, me too. But imagine I was in a video game environment and I wanted to use this guy as geometry. How do we do that? So down here we can move it, we can rotate it. I've already found out how to move and rotate it. Thanks very much, just using a mouse. We can scale it. I don't want to scale it. We can regenerate it. Let's regenerate it, give it another shot. But it looks like we probably can't download it. And if that's the case, what's the bloody point? Right, I'd say that's worse. Say this generation's worse than the last one. Probably. I would say the 2D selection is superior to the 3D generation, personally. So, I don't think you can download it. However, up the top right, there are some buttons. I assume this button is to take a screenshot. No, it's to put a background in maybe. I think it's to put a background in. However, there is a highlighted button here that would imply the ability to add effects. However, because it's highlighted, maybe this is the next step in the chain. So maybe even though I don't want it, let's regenerate it one more time. Maybe even though I don't want to add effects, maybe I need to press that in order to get to the point where I can download the model. Oh, much better. Look at this. That's cool, isn't it? Jesus Christ. I mean, from a distance, if you sort of squint your eyes. Right, let's click on Add Effects then. So 3D effects, we can make it shimmer. Nah, I don't want any of that. Can make it explode. Let's make it explode. Oh, shite. Right, so I'll go back to none. Shimmer. What does shimmer look like? Oh, brilliant. Look at that. A heat map. I thought it would intelligently figure out what parts of my body would be hot. But no, it's just swell. Well, that's useful, isn't it? Look at that. Gold. We can make it go. That looks like shit, man. That looks rubbish. Vortex. Oh, now we're talking. It doesn't settle into the shape of the original object though, so it's kind of useless. Stretch. Terrible. Terrible 3D effect. So let's go back. We'll go into the environment effect. And you can add, that's supposed to be a hand-drawn. Look, that looks shite. Invert. Well, I mean, that works. That is definitely inverting it. And edge detection. Edge detection looks better as a hand-drawn thing than the hand-drawn thing. We've got a sort of cel-shaded effect. Looks bad. Pixelation. Well, I mean, that looks more like me if you pixelate it out to bits, doesn't it? Oh, that looks exactly like me because my head's only 5 pixels across. That actually works really good. And fire, you know me, I like fire. Clicking fire, it seems to not be... Oh! Fucking rubbish, man. Why is it going in the wrong direction? It's like something Crash Bandicoot or something. That looks awful. So let's go back to none. Let's hit back. And visual filters. Let's know. Oh, bubbles. They've got one with bubbles. We might as well try the bubbles. Pish. None. Background image. Night sky. Let's go for that. Oh, look, that's brilliant. It's not even compositing it or whatever. Well, workshop would be best for me, wouldn't it? Total pish, man. There's no shadows. It's just a 360 sphere. It's not using any lighting. I'm not convincingly there at all. Rubbish. So let's hit back. And then up here, share. Do you think it will allow me to export the 3D point cloud or the mesh? Because I don't think it will. And see if you can export the point cloud or the mesh. What's the point? Let's hit share. I bet it'll just give me a link. Oh, a video. It's rendering a video. I don't want a video. I want a point cloud or a mesh. Of this terrible likeness of me. So Meta, if I was to review your brand new tool, in a word, pish. I would say pish. Personally speaking. Actually, it looks more like it's from a Harry Potter PS1 game, and it does. Are you going to just let me download the video? And then it's up to me to upload it places? Probably. 3D model. Share a 3D model. Look at that. I need to log in to do it, but that's fine. Or maybe I don't. Download 3D model. Ho 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 ho. That's good. I think that will probably... let's try and load that up in Blender and see how good the model is. Open with, I don't think I've got Blender. I've got Cinema 4D on this, but I don't have the, I've got Blender. That's pretty good. Right, so if this works, and if I can export 3D model, I will then have a look to see if we could download convert some sort of geometry. Looks like Blender's crashing. Am I still live? I think I'm still live, yes I am. Right, so let us delete the default cube, and then open this in here. I should be able to drag in a PLY file. Open this in here. Nah, do I need to go to File Import? File Import, Stanford PLY, downloads. Just do this in case you can see anything embarrassing in my downloads folder, but I don't think you can. Import that. And then, does it have a texture and stuff? No. It's not even a mesh, it's a point cloud. So not really that usable. It's a 3D Gaussian point cloud splat. So that's all it'll let you get from it. Which, to be fair, does kind of look like me. Not overly impressed, if I'm going to be honest with you. Meta. I wonder if there is a way of viewing this with the vertex colours. I don't know how to use Blender enough to do that. Any Blender experts in? See if these vertices have got colour data. Is there a way to just view that? I've tried these buttons up here, but I don't think it's them. You're a Gaussian thing. Thank you, Carnivore. Hello, Willow. How you doing? Welcome in. If you're just joining us, we are trying out a brand new tool by Meta, the Facebook people, where you can upload an image and it'll do like a rough 3D scan of what is in the image. But I'm not too... I mean, it's free. It is free, right? To be fair to them. And they managed to get all this 3D data just from one camera angle. You know? What if you just render an image? Well, if I render this, there's no geometry to be rendered. So if I just render this, it'll show up black, because there's nothing in the scene to capture any light, because it is just a point cloud. But you know, it's something. It's something. Doesn't look anything like me, but it's something. But right here, like all these vertices, this is a Gaussian splat. So there should be... But we try a non-human object. Oh, well that was maybe in 3D scenes. What about create 3D bodies? We were maybe in the wrong tool, right? So let's upload a different one. Let's upload me with my hand in my pocket, looking suave, looking like Suave and Gavin, right? Try Spark Splat Viewer, it works in the browser. I use their OSSJS library. Interesting. Hello Exeldro, how you doing? Can you click a point to see its colour? I can only click one object. What if I select... No, that's the 3D cursor. I'm a Cinema 4D guy rather than a Blender guy. So I'm not entirely sure. In the tree, they're just sort of one object with no vertex groups. You know what I mean? But it's interesting for what it is. I reckon that I might have used the wrong tool. So we are now definitely in the person constructor. You know? So we'll try this, right? People reference view. Let's have a look at that. Aye, so this is different from where we were before. So I'm going to click generate people. It says it's generating a 3D model. Look at that. So that's now, I mean, it doesn't look like me, but that's now taken a stock model, which does look like geometry, doesn't look like a Gaussian splat, and it's given it the pose approximately. I mean, the feet are off, look at that, but the feet aren't even in shot in the reference image. So that's something, isn't it? However, with this, I then don't have an option to export it or do anything with it. Let's look at the original view, generate all people. And in the previous setup, I could export stuff. That's me naked, 100%. But it's interesting, isn't it? But it would be useful here, if here I could generate that as an object. Especially because it appears to be rigged as well. Wouldn't it be useful if it could take in a video and it would export a rigged model? Even if the model didn't look like me, I could use the skeleton in the rig to then, you know, replace the model. So image cutouts, that's quite powerful, that's quite strong, that might be useful for some. So there's templates here. Bobblehead template, you could put a bounding box around something, you could give some motion trails, contour lines. Once again, who is this for? So it's not robust enough to be used in any visual effects production. I don't think they're giving folk access to the API, or they might be, but I don't know. So I don't know if it's useful to integrate as a component in a bigger sort of project. Create 3D scenes, right? Let's upload an image. I think I've got an image of the room that I'm currently in somewhere. Let me see. My throat's getting a wee bit sore again. So, sorry, this is quite boring to watch, but I'm trying to just find, without doxing things, I'm trying to find an example of an image or a video that would be worth try to replicate. I mean, this is kind of cool. Why does that look better than... it's a different telly. It's a different telly. I think that setup looks better than my current setup, doesn't it? That was a different setup. I'll try and... I need to get my stream set up looking good again. I don't know if there's anything... What about this? It's part of a video that I made in the Glasgow School of Art before it got burnt down. Although you can't really see much of the architecture or whatever, because it's primarily another big CRT television. Maybe I don't have any good donor stuff. Don't know. What about in pictures? Nah. Documents. Oh, I've accidentally just uploaded an image that I was trying to look at. What is the image of? Is it anything that might actually... Well, it's a 3D sphere of... Nah, I need to be able to select objects and stuff in it. Create 3D scenes. Surely there is an image somewhere on my computer of something that is a 3D object. Right, I've been in this folder. If I go back into downloads, view large icons. I intentionally keep this folder kind of free of stuff. Not really good. Somebody want a scan of a £20 note? There it is. What about on my NAS? Let's go into work. Project. I mean, I'm just looking for a photo of a 3D scene. How's about if I just take a photo of this 3D scene? Right. And then I go on to iCloud and download that photo. Will it be updated yet? Nah. Is there any way for me to sync the photos? Nah. Is there any way for me to send the photo from my phone to the computer? Nah, because this is Windows and that's a Mac, and even though we're in 2025, you can't do that. Is there any way for me to force the update on my phone? Nah, not really. Let's see if there's anything on my phone that is already describes geometry. Oh, here we go. The photo has downloaded. Okie dokie. So let's download that, which is downloaded to the here. Let's put it in a zip file, even though it's just one file. It's zipped it. So let's extract that to here. Okay, guys. Right, let's go. So what we're going to do is upload the image that I've just downloaded, which is this 3D television. Okay, so I've just took this image here, and what I'm going to do is click to select an object. That's exciting, isn't it? We can download both models locally. I've been messing around now. Interesting. But as a point cloud, it's given me tooltips that I already know. That's interesting. So it's getting confused with the segmentation of the CRT telly. Look at this. It's not really picking that up well. Alright, it's picked it up kind of good now. Pick the plant as well, please. That too. Okie dokie. And maybe all these balls as well. Right, okay, so let's say that's good. Let's say I like how that looks. And I'm going to... Is there anything else I should do here? Don't think so. I'm going to just hit Generate 3D. And let's see if it makes us the 3D telly. So Laxonian, were you able to download a mesh, or was it just like a Gaussian splat you were able to download? I mean, the proportions are well off, aren't they? But as an approximation, it's, I guess, kinda alright. These balls in reality are in a row, but I guess it can't detect the perspective. And again, it looks like an AI recreation of the stuff rather than what the thing actually is. But it knows that it's a sort of cubic object. Like, that is fairly right angled and stuff, which is interesting. I guess if you wanted to generate a PlayStation 1 level, do you know what, the geometry is actually probably fine. I think it is the texture that it's applied to it. particularly just this screen, see if that was stretched more horizontally, I reckon it would look a lot better. Maybe the geometry is sound. No, it isn't, because this telly should overstep that. You know what I mean? But it's got about 60% there. And you've got things that I didn't expect it to do, like the stem of that and stuff. That's fine, right? However, because this is a Gaussian splat and not real geometry, it then prevents you from actually editing it or fixing it. You know? This is a wee bit suspicious, like how not straight that bit is. But at the same time, it's been able to like make a fairly solid with right angled version of that, and it's done so very, very quickly as well. So let's see if in this mode I can download a 3D object. It's exporting a video, even though I don't want a video. It's decided to export a video. Would you say this is good? As a technical demo, it's kinda, I suppose, almost impressive. But then, at what point would you need this? So what would make it good is if I could download the model as 3D geometry. That would be good. But as it currently stands, it's making a thing that isn't perfect, but it's limited in how you can then take that thing. So if I then wanted to make it perfect, I can't, because it's a point cloud. You know? So it means that I can't then edit it to make it, to incorporate it into a workflow or whatever. What is good is the image cutouts, right? So if I create a video cutout, right, I think this will be more useful for my day-to-day life. Right, so let's upload a video of the Crystal Maze that I just happen to have on my computer. It's a few steps, but I think you can convert point clouds into meshes in Blender. You can do HughTV, but it's not... It makes everything look crusty. You know what I mean? It's no very good. Failed to upload media. Brilliant, that's good. Right, gives 2 wee seconds, everybody. So if you manage to do that, the quality would be even worse then. So let's go to... Where are we? TrueNAS, and then work, and then Twitch, and then Games Master. I'm not giving it a 2.5 gig file. 2 seconds, I need to... I've clipped up some Games Master footage because I was trying to use it in something else. So I need to just find where it is. In fact, let's give it the April tags video, right, and see if it can cut round about me. So there's a video of me just moving these things around, and this project has came on really well. I've authored my first ever exe file recently, and it appears to work. I've managed to package up all the dependencies and things, and it's written in Python, but because I'm using something called Nutica, it compiles it into C, so it runs even better, and it's all really exciting. So I've got a couple of other wee points that I can improve it with. So saving configurations and stuff still needs a wee bit of work. But I reckon we're about a week away from the first public release of the trackers in my project. So that's quite exciting. Have you used Cascadeur? I haven't. Cascadeur? I'm going to Google what that is. Design 3D animations. Is it an Adobe product? No, it isn't. Character animation software. So does that take in... Oh, is it just for animation or is it AI? Cascadeur. The easiest way to animate. So do you give it different poses and then it'll interpolate between? I think I've saw something like this before, maybe. So you pose it in multiple ways and then that'll do the tweening for you. I wouldn't mind a shot of that. That would be cool. This is what AI should be used for, man. Is removing labour. And if it works good, that's cool. Could be useful to clean up motion capture data as well, because that's always a pain in the arse. Okay, folks, so with this new meta thing, this is a different way of doing it. I'm going to search for man within this, and it'll confuse it a wee bit because there's two versions of me. So I think this will be more successful than the 3D stuff. So on one frame it's found me, right? So I'm just going to say search entire video. We are finding all instances of man. So I guess this looks a wee bit comparable to After Effects. That edge thing's kind of confusing it a wee bit. But it's alright for one click. I don't know if it would be production ready for any visual effects or whatever. It would still require a lot of manual cleanup. Particularly, like if you look around about the ears and stuff, that's a soft edge. Show tracks. Right, okay, but imagine that's good. What can I then do with it? Can I export the maths? Add an effect. No thanks. I can do auto zoom. That's interesting. Exporting video. Will it export me some mats that I can then use in compositing software should I need to? Because if it can, that would be good. No, it isn't doing that. Nope. I wonder if there's a way that I could sort of hack it. So in the effect, I could add not a highlight, but like a fill. Color fill. And put the opacity right up. Yep, I could do it like that. And then just take a key of that. And import that into After Effects. We could do that. But like I said, the edges are a wee bit sort of crispy. So I don't know. It might be useful for machine learning and stuff. Probably not useful for visual effects. But in terms of object segmentation, pretty cool, pretty good. Let's see what this does. Meh. I wonder if there's a more challenging video we could throw at it. All the very best, Lexonian. Thank you very much. Excited to try Tracker Zoomer. Cool. Should be maybe out in a week or so, I think. I should have a wee bit of time over the weekend to give it a shot. Let's see if there's any Crystal Maze video. So if I open Adobe Premiere, I happen to have already clipped every instance of Richard O'Brien running between zones in Crystal Maze from seasons 1 to season 4. It's just over an hour's worth of footage. And if I go into that, there will be some low resolution footage of a bald guy running about. And I think that might be useful. Zoom to me? Aye. I think Pure Zoomer is the winner. Pure Zoomer seems to be the winner. sequence, fit. Is there a way of doing that? Fit sequence to frame, match frame, there we go. Right, so I've got a video of Richard O'Brien coming out of a thing, right? So let's see if it can detect that, because that's kind of difficult. You're a pure Zoomer, Mike Almond. So what we will do is export this as like H.264 or something similar. I'll call it crawl.move. I will save it as H.264. And this is fairly low resolution. So it's in Documents, then Twitch. Cool, so that's exported there. And then let's go into the Adobe thing. And we will do a video cutout. Oh, we've not tried the body detection with a video. So we could see if it does that as well. Documents, Twitch, and then crawl, I've called it. Okie dokie, so I'm uploading this video that I've just exported from Premiere. Failed to upload media, failed to process uploaded media. Please try again later. It says try it later. Is that because the servers are having a bad time? Or is it because I have compressed it wrong or something? I just saved it as an H.264 file. Failed to upload media. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Hazina Bolty. I mean, that's a 3-minute video. It's not going to deal with that very well. Well. Relax It's Max, you're an H.264 file. Relax It's Max, welcome in. Thank you very much for subbing. How's it going? How you doing? And also, how's it even going? Thank you very much for feeding the wee squirrels as well. Spogger says, always mixed up Richard O'Brien with Right Wing Said Fred. When I was a kid, used to think he was one and the same. Oh, here, look. We've managed to get it in. So there we go. So there's lots of visual noise here, right? Lots of people obscuring him, walking in front of him. So it says search for objects. I'm going to type in bald man. And I'm going to search the entire video. Oh, look. It's caught him. Briefly detected the other guy. It's caught him again. Look at that. That's pretty good. That just via language. I must say the outline of the face isn't great. The hand has failed to be protected. It got him for frame 1 there. That was quite interesting. So let's then go forward and see how useful this one. See, it's not getting his nose, not getting his chin here. That would require a wee bit of manual tracking. But maybe as a garbage mat, this could be useful. But look at this. To be fair, the video that we're giving it is very low resolution, very blurry. It's dark. It's heavily compressed. You know what I mean? But how's it lost it here? You know? What does show tracks do? Well, that's when it's sort of failing, right? I understand that. So if we could add an effect, a background. Right. Okay, I understand what it's doing here. So if we put color fill, remove the highlight, and make the color fill So that's how you would get the matte from it, but that looks bad, man. That wouldn't be useful for any sort of production stuff. So this purely, I reckon, would be as part of a tool for visual effects or something, for segmentation. But as far as I'm aware, it can't do it live. So I don't know what I would use this for. I don't think anything. I don't think I could use this for anything. So if I now export this video, you know, do I even want to download it? But I could then import that into After Effects and use this to extract him if I needed to do that. But I don't. Wonder what else could be done. It might be useful for various objects, depending on the footage. If I had some complex roto work to do or something, this might be worth a shot, because you can see what the output is within minutes of giving it a video file. And I suppose even if it gets you, 40% there, just in the space of 20 seconds or something, might be useful. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's pretty useful. So occasionally I work in news, and occasionally we need to do this. If there's photos or footage of a big crowd, we need to blur people's faces. So this is a useful thing. And blur license plates as well. However, I wouldn't be able to use this for news, because it means that I would have to upload a video file to the Meta servers, and I wouldn't be allowed to do that. You know what I mean, for privacy reasons. Blurring license plates, pixelate screens, it can do that autonomously. That's pretty useful. That's quite useful. If it worked. But there you go. There you go. Today we were having a look at the Meta AI demo thing. It just shows you, doesn't it? And I'm going to have a look at the PLY file, because if we can get a better version of the guy out it, because I'm no more happy with how that came out, man. I look far more attractive than this guy. You know what I mean? I would say this is honking. What's even going on there? I think that's just video compression. Whoa, that's cool. I'm not too happy with it at all, if I'm going to be frank. But as I said, some of the 2D segmentation might be useful. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Mr. Pish. How you doing? Want to watch the Crystal Maze now? Well, I happen to have seasons 1 to 4 on my computer right here. At least Goblin Jimmy can levitate, I guess so. It's a good sign the AI bubble will probably burst in about 5 to 10 years. I think the financial side of it will probably burst a wee bit sooner. But folk will still be using it for things. I guess what I tried to use that for there isn't what it's really for, I suppose. So I think what I tried to use that for there was integrating it with visual effects and stuff. But instead, I think it is designed to be used as part of like a more autonomous, like AI computer vision process. Like if you're generating software to then do something or something. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what it's for. But it exists, much like a lot of AI stuff. What's it for? I don't know. Who's going to use that? I don't know. But it's kinda impressive a wee bit. Yeah. But that seems to be the vibe with a lot of AI stuff. Anyway. My throat's getting a bit sore, and I've lost a wee bit of momentum. So what I'm going to do is take you over to Uncle Jivers, who appears to be playing Hollow Knight. So listen, everybody, thanks very much for coming in. Please keep it real, take it easy at the same time. The raid message is hello, Uncle Jivers, because the joke is that Jivers is my uncle. Thank you very much for coming in. Yous are all sensational and fantastic at the same time. I'm hopefully going to come on later on tonight, but I'm not promising anything, but I would like to come on later on tonight. I've got a wee bit of just life admin and maintenance to do that'll make me feel a lot better once I get on top of that. So I don't really know. I'm working tomorrow. I'm in the place tomorrow. Everybody in the police. So I probably won't be on tomorrow, but if I'm on, it'll be for a walk or something where I'm out and about. Thank you very much for enjoying me. Enjoying me? Aye. Yep, you enjoyed me. Thanks very much for enjoying me today. My name's James Houston and Houston's Boostin', but before I go, enjoy this magic trick. See you later, goodbye. All very best, goodbye, ta-ta. That's me done. It's so enjoyable. Aye, thanks for enjoying me, Mike Almond. See you later, cheerio.